In this video, I'm going to talk about how do you create and manage a committee, and followed by several use cases where the committee feature can be used. On the Constella website, on your left-hand side, there's a committees link. If you click on that, you see a list of all the committees and their openings. So parents coming to this website knows where the school needs help. And if you click on any committee, then it takes you to the page that displays the committee. On this committee page, you can see the description of the committee. And if you scroll down, you can see the different positions. And if I want, I can sign up for a position or I can withdraw from a position. If I sign up for a position, I will become a committee member, which allows me to see my committee on my left-hand side right here. You see that I signed up for Running Club. That's why Running Club is showing up on my left-hand side. Clicking on it allows me to see what is happening in this committee. I can text chat with other people, other committee members. I can share files and photos with them. Our committee chair probably also created announcements or events just for the committee members. So that is what users can do in a committee. Now let's talk about who can create a committee. Of course, Constella admins definitely can create committees, but you don't want to ask admins to create every committee. So typically what happens is that the Constella admin will assign the privilege to maybe the VP on your PTA board, the VP of events or the VP of fundraising. So these are the people the Constella admins can give the privileges to, so that these people can create committees. Once you are given the privilege, you come to the Constella webpage and click this create button right here. You'll see the committee option, and you can directly just create committees by clicking that committee button. And there's really not that much to mention here. Everything is pretty straightforward, except for maybe this add position. When you add a position, you can mention if this is the lead position or not. So if this is the lead position, people who signed up for that position automatically becomes a lead of that group, in this case, committee. Typically you want to create, you want to mark this when this is, let's say, a committee chair position. So this is one thing I want to get your attention. And another thing is the organizers. Let's say I'm not a committee chair, so I don't sign up for a committee, but I still want to be added as the organizer. Maybe I'm a co-chair of VP of events. I want to be able to organize, to manage every committee. If that's the case, I can also add that person's name right here by clicking add users. So now we have a group of people, the admins, the people who are assigned the privilege to create committees, and people who signed up for a lead position, and people who are on the organizers list. Any of these people can manage this committee. So let's see what that allows me to do. If I click Running Club, being the person who is able to manage this committee, you see that I have this sign up for others link, which allows me to sign up other users to be committee members. And in the top right corner, you see actions, which allows me to edit this committee or delete this committee. And if I click Running Club on my left-hand side, another thing I can do is click this settings button. It allows me to change who can post in this committee, who can create announcements or events in this committee. And now let's talk about archiving. Typically, archiving is done at the end of school year, where you need to archive all the content from last year. But we typically do not recommend archiving committees. The reason is because committee chairs, they like to pass along files and they're just their notes to the next committee, and this is very valuable asset for people who is taking over the position next year. So For that specific reason, we do not recommend archiving committees. And also that committee positions, they do not change year over year. Committee description definitely does not change year over year. And lots of times, people who volunteered for a committee last year would like to volunteer for the same committee again in the school years. So for those reasons, we do not recommend archiving committees. Now let's talk about some special cases of committees. The first one I want to talk about is the PTA board. Lots of times we hear schools approaching us and asking, hey, I have a committee, which is my board. I do not want other people to sign up for positions, but I do want to show them, hey, this group exists in our school, and these are the people. So if that's the case, what you can do is go to this committee. You want to use the sign up for others feature to sign up all your board members. Then after you do that, you want to make sure all the positions are filled by going to actions and edit. If you only have one VP of fundraising, you make sure there's only one position for that, so that when people come to the committee page, they will see all the positions are filled, and they cannot sign up for positions. Another special committee we would like to recommend to other schools is the Constella Test Drive Committee. You might want to create this committee and make maybe 5 people or 10 people, 10 opening positions in this committee, so that whenever people want to test something out, they can create it, let's say, create it just for the committee. Let's say if I want to test out one announcement and see when I create an announcement and send out email notifications, what does the email look like? So me as an organizer, I can sign up for the Constella Test Drive Committee so that I become a committee member and just create an announcement for this committee. We also see lots of schools create committees for teachers and staff members, so that if they want to send out anything to teachers or any message to teachers, they can do it in that committee. You can also do that on Constella, and just use the sign up for others to sign up teachers and staff members in this committee. Again, this is another committee you do not want parents to sign up. And you want to use the edit feature to make sure every position is filled. There's no open position for parents to sign up. Another thing about the teachers and staff committee is that you might want to create a position called parent coordinator, so that the coordinator, every time you have any message, you can send this. You can ask the coordinator to send this message to everybody in the committee. Same thing about the room parent committee. You might want to also create a room parent committee with all the room parents in the committee and a room parent coordinator position as the committee lead. The last use case I want to talk about is the committees for large events such as walkathon. In a walkathon, you have a committee chair or maybe several committee chairs, and you have lots of jobs. And for each job, there might be a lead. Maybe a person who is responsible for the welcome table, another person who is responsible for the, I don't know, food stations. Right. If that's the case, notice that the walkathon chair needs to communicate with the section leads before the event happens. And they probably will brainstorm something. They maybe will have meetings. So it's a quite long going process. So you want to create a committee for the walkathon leads, meaning that the committee is only for the walkathon chairs plus all the section leaders. It's not for regular volunteers. So for the section leaders and the walkathon chair to recruit volunteers, for that you can create a sign-up sheet for your entire school just for walkathon. So again, you create a committee for the leaders, and you create a sign-up sheet for people to volunteer for specific positions in your event. The reason is that you want to create a committee when there's like ongoing conversations between committee members. But for regular sign-ups, again, you should just use a sign-up sheet. Another similar use case that you will find very helpful to learn is committees for daily jobs. Let's say your school has a committee called Hot Lunch. This committee needs 20 people to help serving hot lunch every day in school, right? So what you can do is to create a committee for the hot lunch committee. And in the committee, you can have two positions. One is the committee chair. The other is, let's call it volunteer helpers. And you might want to have one committee chair opening and 20 volunteer openings. So that's for the committee. But then you can create a recurring sign-up sheet for the committee, not for the entire school, but just for the committee, so that the committee members can use the recurring sign-up to manage shifts. John in the committee might want to sign up every Monday or every other Tuesday. Jill might sign up for some other dates. So when they do that, these events will be automatically synced to their personal calendars. So why do you create a committee, then create a recurring sign-up sheet for the committee? It has two good reasons. One is that if a committee is created, then the committee members can communicate with each other throughout the year. They can send text messages, they can share files and folders. The files can be passed along from one year to another year. Right, so that's one reason you want to allow community members to be able to communicate with each other. And the second reason is that if you didn't create a committee, you will need to create a recurring sign up for the entire school so that parents can sign up for these positions. But once a committee is created, you can use the recurring sign up, but only create it for the committee members so that other parents in the school won't see it. That they are not in the committee, so they don't need to see the recurring sign up of the committee members. So that's the second reason you want to create a committee first, then create recurring signups for the committee. I hope everything I covered made sense to you. And anytime, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at feedback@constella.com. Thanks.